Welcome back to the Buds in the Box podcast. The Leafs win 7-3 against the Jets. Auston Matthews scores his 50th goal. We could talk about this game all day, but guys, what are your initial thoughts on Matthews' 50th goal? I know it was an empty netter, but let's get it all out there.
50 goals in a season is pretty crazy. That's a big accomplishment. Not a lot of guys can do that, and he is obviously. We always knew he was an elite goal scorer, but to score 50 in a season's special. Like no one does that. Like that's getting up there with I mean, what did Gretzky had like 92 goals one year or something? That's nuts. But 50 goals is a really good accomplishment. So. Let's see if he can get to 55. I think that would be my goal for him is 55. I think they've got 15 games left. Can he get 5 goals? I think so. Then he would be the all-time Leaf goal scoring leader in a single season. So that would be pretty cool. But it's a good accomplishment.
Jude?
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's awesome to see, and I think everybody in that stadium, everybody watching was banking on him to get one, right? So. It was a big goal. Cool to see everybody all fired up in the arena.
I just really didn't want Draisaitl to get it before him.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that Draisaitl caught up to him first in the first place, but I just did not want to see Draisaitl score like tomorrow night and Matthews get it like the night after and just be like, why couldn't he be in the first one,
I was telling Jude about this. I actually don't mind it because they're kind of pushing each other to score 50 goals.
And he's a fan of the NHL, right? So
oh my God.
I don't like it.
I just think they both want the Rocket Richard really badly. And I think they're pushing each other and it's causing more goals. Like Matthews is on like a 5 or 6 game goal streak right now. And Draisaitl's got a hat trick the other night.
I know, I hated that. I just don't want Draisaitl to score anymore. Like just stop 49s at no more goals for the next 15 games. No, it's just I want him to win the Rocket again. I was glad that he hit 50 first. If he didn't hit 50 first, I would have been pretty upset. And I don't like Draisaitl anyways. You guys know that. So, I think Matthews is a much better player than Draisaitl.
Yeah, Matthews has 13 goals in his last 11 games.
He's also got 42 goals in his last 43 games or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Or 43 in his last 44. It's nuts.
I know. That's how it would have been last year if he didn't have that hand injury. He still won the Rocket Richard.
Still won the Rocket Richard and almost got 50 goals in 58 games.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah, that's so he's played 62 games this year and he has 50 goals. That's crazy.
Yeah, and just another crazy stat to end off. Surprisingly, I didn't even realize how low this was, but only 3 other Leafs alumni have scored 50 goals in a season. Andrechuk, Lehman, and Vive. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Matthews is the 4th ever Leaf to score. If he reaches 60 this year, he'll be the first ever Leaf to score 60 goals in a season. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think 60 is definitely a stretch. That would be cool. But do you know how many Ovechkin's most is in a season?
I think it's 65 or something.
Is it? Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's a more consistent goal scorer. Not like a Gretzky goal scorer,
No, I mean Gretzky get 200 points in a year, so let's and 92 goals. So let's that. No one's touching that ever. You can see the modern era hitting 50 is a huge deal. Gretzky was in the 90s. That's in goals. That's crazy. But if we're just talking about this game quickly while you check up on that, Eric.
Yeah, no, it was 65.
Was it 65?
Yep.
I hate the Jets. I hope Nolan Hockey Podcast hears this. The Jets actually suck. They're bad. And they are just a bunch of rats. There's a bunch of rats. It's good to have 1 rat or 2 on your team. They're just a bunch of them. It's just they're just scurrying around the ice, just doing nothing. Being Wheeler's a rat, okay? Dubois a rat. Pionk's a rat. Who else is a rat on this team?
Brendan
Logan
Dillon?
Stanley. Logan Stanley's a rat. Dylan's a rat. They've just got a bunch of rats on their team that they don't do anything. They're just there to like be idiots. It's like them and Montreal are like that. They're like the two teams that are like that. The old like Montreal last year was more so like that, like Sherratt and Weber and like Anderson, like they're just rats, But Winnipeg's making a great name for themselves as just being idiots. So I hate them, honestly. I think they're bad, and I don't think they deserve to be in the playoffs. I don't think they're good enough. If Pierre-Luc Dubois is your best player, like you have issues. The only guy on that team that's decent is Scheifele. And I hate to say it, and Hellebuck, he sucks now too. So like the whole team is just it's a poverty team, and I don't like it. And I'm sorry to do this to our friend Nolan Hockey Podcast. I'm sorry if you're from Winnipeg, like, and you're forced to be a fan of that team. They're just, I couldn't see myself liking that team. They're so unlikable. Lowry, so unlikable. Like their whole team.
Well, one person you didn't say because he didn't play tonight was Kyle Connor. And Jude, I know you're talking about
He
him
just looks
before
like a
the game.
hobo.
No, I was gonna say
nobody's arguing with that.
Kyle Connor looks like one of those pens with the animals on top, and you squeeze it, and the eyes pop out.
That's true. Okay, Connor and Scheifele are the only two good players. I could agree with being a fan of Connor, even though he looks like a hobo.
I think Connor changes that team.
Connor's cool, but the rest of them, man, it's like I get it if like there's a few guys on the team that have roles, right? It's like if you look at Boston, right? It's like Marchand, he's obviously the biggest rat in the league, but he's a rat. And then you go like McAvoy, he hits a lot, but he's also kind of like ratty. But it's like the two of them, right? Or like you look at the Leafs, it's like Bunting and like Simmons. They're like the guys who like will go out and get under guys' skin, right? That whole team is just like you can't have every guy doing that. Like it's good to have a team that like wants to do that and get under the other team's skin. But if it's everyone on the ice at the same time, then you're not worried about the right things, Like Wheeler has 12 goals this year. Like, come on. That was his 12th goal. He looked that's amazing. He looked amazing, but that was his 12th goal. And then the rest of the game, he was just being an idiot.
Who was that player that Thornton was fighting with last year? Was it Ehlers?
It was Ehlers, yeah. He was quieter that game, I think, but he also is kind of he's fast. He's pretty good, but he also like I feel like that team just way too easily lets like stupid shit get in the way of the way they actually play hockey, and I'm not complaining because we just smacked them 7-3, but I feel like they're all over the place. Like whenever we play them, I mean, unless it's just like a Leafs Jets like rivalry thing. I mean, it's a one-sided rivalry if you ask me. It's not really a rivalry to the Leafs. But if they think it's like a huge rivalry, then I guess so be it. But like, yeah, I won't talk about it anymore. I just think they're like not good. I just think they're not playing the right way. Dubois, he's my least favorite player in the league after Josh Anderson. So it's like Josh Anderson, Dubois. It's like very close. But I hate both of them.
I'm actually gonna tell Kyle Dubas to trade for both of them.
I would hate that actually. And the Tkachuk brothers. I hate the Tkachuk brothers too. Yeah, like they're like a close third and fourth, but yeah, it's Anderson and Dubois are my least favorite players in the NHL. Like it's anyway. I would not be a Leaf fan if they traded.
I don't like Perry. Never will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Perry, I also hate him. He's always been like that though.
Yeah.
And then he need Tavares in the head. Like, come on.
That's just salt to the wound.
Yeah. So whatever.
Yeah, I mean the Leafs, they did have a slow start. The Jets scored 2 quick goals on them, and then after that it was kind of like lights out for the Leafs. Nylander played really well tonight. Mikheyev played really well tonight. Marner played all the top 4 played well tonight, and then you add Mikheyev there. He is absolutely thriving on that second line with Tavares and Kerfoot. I think this is a huge topic too. Like you have Mikheyev who you just put up on that line, and he's thriving. He had 3 or 4 points tonight, And then you also have Nylander, who's also doing the same thing, who's also fighting for that spot on that line. What do you think you do if you're Dubas or Sheldon Keefe?
I'd move Kerfoot down, to be honest with you. Mikheyev's a left winger naturally. And I'd put, like, we're going to talk about this in our next episode. We're doing a segment on like Leaf lines and stuff, but I would put Nylander with Tavares and Mikheyev. That's what I would do.
Jude?
Yeah, that's literally exactly what my line is. So
Oh, spoiler
Me
alert.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah, well, I was expecting a little bit more of a lengthy answer and some argument there, but maybe
Well, you know what, Eric? I do think that moving him down in the lineup was a very good spark set by the Toronto Maple Leafs coaching staff due to the fact that it seems like Nylander has been pushing a little harder than he has been in his past couple of games. Due to this reason, I believe that he will earn a spot by the time playoffs comes. He will be on a line with Tavares like he's in prior times. You don't even sound bad, so
I forgot I had this.
well,
Like,
here,
I've been at school for so long and I haven't
using it because I left it here by accident, but now I have COVID and I'm here. You guys can keep talking.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was gonna say I can play devil's advocate because I actually have a different opinion on this. I think that Nylander, he's kind of been like so recently, like other than tonight and the other game.
How do I sound? Sorry.
Mikheyev has he had a really good start to the season. He's kind of dropped off. But now that you kind of like, I think Mikheyev and Nylander both think they deserve to be on that second line. So if you keep switching them and light fire under each other's asses, I don't know a better way to say that. They're gonna keep playing like this. And like, yeah, I know you can only push it to like a certain line, but it's working right now. Like, why change something that's working?
I
Right?
would say that Nylander is a top 6 player, 100%. Like, he doesn't deserve to be in the bottom 6. He just doesn't. He could play on any team in the NHL and be in their top 6. That's a fact. And honestly, if they're gonna treat him like this, whenever I keep watching, I could see it. Even when he scores, he's like I scored. Move me up. Like, it's like he's going to eventually want out if they're just treating him like this. If they put him on the third line with players that aren't he's playing with Pierre Engvall. No offense to Pierre Engvall, but like it's not Tavares.
What did
right?
Seabiscuit ever do to you?
Nothing. I love Seabiscuit, but no, like it's just he's not Tavares, he's not even Mikheyev or Kerfoot. Like I think Nylander needs to play in a top 6 position. It's just like I don't like that because eventually, like after this year, he's gonna want out if he stays in like the bottom 6 because he knows he can go somewhere and make an impact, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, he's still making an impact. He was our top player tonight. Like he had 2 goals and 1 assist.
But think about it: if you're him, right? Like if you're Nylander, then like if I was in his shoes, okay, obviously I love the Leafs. I'm a Leaf fan. Like I'm from Toronto. But like if I was not a Leaf fan, if I was just an NHL player, like he is, and I'm in his position, I'm like, okay, there's all this star power on top of me right now, and I'm on the third line, and I'm still making an impact. What if I went to a different team and I'm the number 2 guy, right? Then he's the go-to guy. He's on the first line. Let's say he goes to like Calgary even. He's easily a top 6 player there, and he's going to be playing with good players.
But I think it matters more not who you're playing with because like you could be playing with someone like sure Engvall, but they produce like they got a goal tonight. That line.
Not even strength though. He scored 2 on the power play.
Yeah, and then who did he assist?
I don't know. Did he have an assist? He
did, yeah. But what I'm saying, like, kind of my point is, he's still getting the same amount of ice time, even though he's playing on the third line, right?
He's not though. They showed a thing during the period or in between periods. They showed a chart. He's getting less ice time now that he's on the third line.
He had 18 minutes tonight, though.
Yeah, but he get like whatever tonight or like but they were showing that since he's been moved down, he's gotten less ice time, like minutes of it, and that's significant to a player. So, it's all about ice time. Like if he wants to go somewhere and get more ice time, he may very well be like, I want to be traded if you're going to treat me like this. Leave me on the third line. Like he's not a bottom six player, but like Mikheyev, for example, Mikheyev could be a third line player. Kerfoot could be a third line player. I just don't see Nylander being a third line player.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys are probably on the right. I just want to be the devil's advocate.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying, but if I put myself into his shoes, I would want to not be in that situation. But we don't know what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah,
all I know is
next All or Nothing comes out.
Keefe kind of has it out for him, from my point of view.
Yeah,
but I could see Keefe's like doesn't like him, and that's why he keeps shafting him and like putting him in these situations, and like he's just so much better than Keefe is giving him credit for, I think.
Yeah. The goal that he assisted was Liljegren's goal. That was like with 1 minute left. And
that was a nice goal, actually.
That also reminds me, last topic before we end the podcast. Both you guys, how did you think about Giordano's performance? Because he started it off pretty poorly from Blake Wheeler's goal, which I know you're pretty pissed about, Felly.
I can't believe I forgot about this.
Yeah, and then he came back. He scored a goal. He scored his first goal as a Leaf and also got an assist tonight.
I can't believe we didn't talk about this. I forgot.
Yeah.
He looked horrid. He looked so bad in the first 10 minutes of the game. I'm not going to let it slide because like, oh, he scored a goal and then he had an assist. It's like, and then he made some good defensive plays, but like, dude, you can't start a game like that. He was literally responsible for 2 goals against. The first 2 against in the first like 7 minutes of the game. He was on the ice for both of them, and he got embarrassed on the first one, and then on the second one that was his post that got wrapped around on. So like two of the first goals he's on the ice for, pretty much responsible for, and then he finally gets into the game with 5 minutes left in the first. It's like you can't play like that in the playoffs, Like if you start a game like that, or you have 10 minutes of hockey like that, then you'll lose. It's the playoffs. You're going to be playing a better team than that. You're going to be, like it's playoff hockey. It doesn't. I thought he was pretty bad to start the game off, and any chunk of 10 minutes at any point in the game, even if it's the first 10 minutes of the second period, last 10 of the second period, it's like it doesn't matter. You can't have 10 minutes like that. And he was not good that whole 10 minutes. Like he was turning the puck over. He got embarrassed on that one goal. But like aside from that, like the whole time I was like, oh my God, he looks bad. He looked slow. He looked like he wasn't winning any battles. And then he finally picks it up. It's like, okay, but that can't happen,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Jude, do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think maybe the line combinations are kind of getting to him or something like that. Just a constant change. I mean, maybe for this game, maybe he has more trust in Liljegren than he does in Hull, but
I do.
What, you have more trust in Liljegren?
Yeah,
of course. So I mean, if you were his D partner, would you not have the same thing? So maybe a little, not as much confidence out there, maybe something like that. And yeah, oh my God, that was embarrassing, that first goal. But
I don't know. Yeah. Like that's also, it's not like Connor McDavid burned him, right? Like it's not like Connor McDavid
6'5" Blake Wheeler
burned a 38-year-old, like a 38-year-old burned a 38-year-old, So it was like,
it's like a beer league.
I didn't like it. I'm not saying I don't like Giordano. That's not at all what I'm saying. I just thought he really had a bad start. You can't do that. You just can't. That's not gonna be okay in the playoffs. If he plays like that 10 minutes of any game in the playoffs, it's gonna be a huge issue, right?
Yeah, I think so as well. Hopefully the Leafs can get their shit together in the playoffs. We really hope. We're going to be there watching them at Maple Leaf Square.
Well, we will be at Maple Leaf Square watching them.
Yep, we will.
When do the playoffs start?
After the 29th of April.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, I got to wrap this
up.
Be there. Make sure you guys go check out our sponsors down below. Use code BUDS20manscaped.com and peoplescup.ca. Thank you guys for watching. Matthews scored his 50th goal. The Toronto Maple Leafs win 7-3 against the Winnipeg Jets. Thank you for watching. This has been the Buttons Box Podcast. Bye for now.
Oh my God, it's not ending. Like